everyone, it's Exile. You're watching another Supernatural review, and this is Season 6, Episode 1, Exile on Main Street. If you're new here, I do like a recap and review of every Supernatural episode, so let's get into it. So I was a little bit worried because if you watched my last video, Season 6 I think is like my least favorite season, but this is actually a good episode. It's actually like a strong episode, and it's something where the episode before is so strong, and it's also sometimes hard to like start off a new season like on a strong front. And I feel like this episode did that. Like, we definitely have had a few seasons. Like, I think it was even the season before this, season 5, where the first few episodes didn't start as strong. Maybe it was season 4, I'm not exactly sure. I felt like this was strong. You know, it's not the strongest episode. I don't know if it's going to end up on the top 5 episodes of the season. But again, the season's not that good, or at least I'm remembering it not as good. So it could possibly be, I feel like French Mistake might be number 1. We shall see. So this episode starts off with, you know, Dean in his white picket fence apple pie life, and it's like, you know, I actually really love seeing it. Like, he's wearing different clothes, he's like kind of acting different. Like, I actually like really appreciate him and kind of how he's migrated himself into this, you know, family, into this life. And you know, it's a whole year, and I think about me, like, I'm someone who's used to change so often. I don't love change, I guess, but I'm very adaptable. Like, at times when things are the same for too long, I actually hate it and I prefer change. So it's something where, like, if I start something new or whatever it may be, like a month in, like, it already feels normal to me, like all that stuff. So, like, you know, when I think about it, like college, like a semester is 4 months long. And, you know, it feels like a long time. And to me, towards the end, and you're already like into like the schedule, like these are my classes. Oh my God, it's finals, it's over. A year is a long time. And like, he's like, this is his life. And so it's a normal thing for him. Like a year is a long time. But of course, eventually, you know, he has to get back into life. And so I think it's good that they didn't do too long. Like, I feel like I'm glad it wasn't like a month later. I feel like a year was perfect timing, and I'm glad they went with a year, but of course he has to be brought in. And so it's kind of interesting that what they did choose first was something that makes you have visions and stuff. So he was like, you know, starts having fears about like monsters and all this stuff. And I'm sure that he like over the year like had a couple fears here and there, but it was very evident, and it was because of a monster. I also talked about in my last video like how this season kind of focuses on monsters, and you know we've had season focuses on demons, we have season focuses on angels. So of course the writers want to do something new. Like, you know, if Eric Kripke's gone, I guess Eric Kripke's no longer there, and you know, we've had a lot with angels and stuff, and we are entering to a new zone. So let's do something. Let's focus on monsters, because even though we've had monsters episodes here and there, we haven't had a focus. So like, I understand the writers wanting to do it. I don't know, I would have loved to see a ghost season, but I guess I feel like for the first 2 seasons might be ghost seasons, because technically it's just so much ghosts, but I love ghosts anyway. And I feel like, I don't know, I feel like that's the thing, is angels and demons are kind of the same thing. With ghosts, you know, it's crazy, it's like one thing, but you were able to get so many different episodes for it. Monsters, you know, there's different type of monsters, so you would think that there's even more you can do, I guess. Sam is back, and you know what's really smart about Jared is he is playing Sam a little bit different, and it's something that I think goes over your head if you're watching Supernatural the first time. Like, you don't realize like he's soulless, and I'm not exactly sure, I can't remember, because again, I didn't really focus on this season. I don't know when they realize he is soulless Sam. Like, is it halfway through the season? Is it in the early parts of the season? But I feel like, because I feel like if you're watching this, rewatching it, you kind of notice Jared's acting differently. And so I feel like they had to like at least tell Jared to like act differently. Maybe they don't know yet that he's fully soulless. They don't have it all planned, executed. I'm not exactly sure. Again, my mind thinks of things that the writers did, but I don't actually know. I don't have evidence, and this is just my thought process. So comment below if you think differently or think the same or whatever else. But they had to say something to Jared. Like, Jared can't just like have decided to act differently, and then they were like, ooh, Jared's acting a little bit differently, let's just change it. Like, And I clearly see that he's a little bit different. Like, they had to give that direction. Maybe they did. Jared just started, I don't know. But I feel like that didn't make sense. Like, Jared's not like that. I don't know. Sam's back, and it was something too that they keep putting this emphasis on, that like Dean was out of it. He got out of hunting, and it's something where it's like so hard for them to get out, and that's why they didn't want to get Dean involved. But when a monster goes after him, like, he has to get involved. And so he obviously is coming back to his life, but you know, he kind of did, and he mentions it in this episode, and we see it in a future episode or episodes where he did kind of endanger Sam or not Sam, he did endanger Lisa and Ben, because now people can go after them, and this is something you care about and like use against it, especially like we saw kind of in the last scene when he was having those fears about Lisa and Ben, and like Lisa on the ceiling and Ben drinking the demon blood, because it used to be, you know, he would have those visions and fears about Sam, and now he's having it about Lisa and Ben, and so it's totally different. Something else that they did is they brought their, like, I'm not gonna say their grandfather back because he technically wasn't totally there before, but their grandfather is there, and then some other relatives, and like, I don't know. Having the grandfather there is a choice, and I don't know if it's because they, you know, didn't want just Sam on his own and they wanted some relatives, but then someone brought up an idea, like, what if we have like the grandfather, like probably one writer brought it up and they were like, oh, this is a good idea. Do I think it's the best idea? I don't know. I also feel like they had too many of those relatives. It's like, we don't know about them. We can't care about each one. It should have been like maybe like 2 cousins or something, maybe both boys, so it's like parallels with them. Even if it was the grandfather, then it should just be 1 or 2 other relatives. Like, it was just a little bit too much. And so yeah, I don't remember a lot of the season, so can't remember exactly what they're going for with the grandfather, but I know he becomes kind of a villain at some point. So maybe they wanted like a villain and they wanted to up the stakes to the fact that it's a grandfather, so I understand, but it's something where it still feels a little bit on the nose. And it's also crazy because they don't know like why he's there, how Sam brought it back, and you know, we kind of got that at, you know, the beginning of season 4 when Dean is brought back. So actually, beginning of season 4 was good. It was probably the beginning of season 5 that was bad. But we kind of got our answers at the end of the first episode of season 4. Like, Cass brought up Dean. We don't know why, but he did. I don't know who brought up Sam, and so I guess that's obviously the writers want to explore that. But it just still seems like on the nose that he's just like back. But I think like in the end it was like a strong episode, and it was great to see Dean as a dad, and like, you know, everything with Lisa and Ben did make sense, and it felt so real. And also, this is another point, I think, like at this moment in life, 2010, like Jensen's now a dad, he just became a dad himself. So he kind of was able to channel into that as well. This video is getting long, so I'm gonna end it here, but I think in the end it was like a good episode to start the season off. You know, things could have been better, but a lot of the things that I have critiques about are about the overall season and what they're trying to do with the season. So anyway, we're gonna see where the season leads us, but thank you guys for watching. You know, comment below, but thank you, what am I saying? Thank you, like, comment, subscribe, and bye.